Have you ever looked in the mirror and didn't quite recognize the person staring back at you? The face is still yours, but the skin, softer. The lines, deeper. The hair, maybe streaked with silver. There's a moment, a quiet, almost tender moment, when you realize, I don't look the way I used to. And that moment can be jarring. Not because there's something wrong with change, but because the world around us teaches us to fear it. We're constantly told to resist aging, erase the wrinkles, dye the grays, stay young, stay beautiful, stay relevant. But here's a question no one asks. What if we stopped fighting aging and started honoring it? What if every wrinkle was seen as a chapter of your life well lived? What if your silver strands were a crown, not a flaw? Buddhist philosophy invites us to see aging not as a decline, but as a transformation. It teaches that true beauty doesn't come from flawless skin or youthful features. It comes from something deeper: presence, wisdom, and compassion. In fact, every wrinkle on your face might just be a silent reminder. You've laughed, you've cried, you've overcome storms, and your gray hair, it's not a symbol of fading youth. It's the mark of experience, of decades navigated with courage. Let me ask you this. When you think of someone truly beautiful in your life, do you remember the smoothness of their skin? Or the way they made you feel seen, heard, safe? That kind of beauty, the kind that radiates from presence and peace, never fades. Aging isn't something to resist. It's something to reclaim. It's the art of becoming more yourself, not less. So the next time you catch your reflection and feel that twinge of loss, pause. Look deeper. There's a story written in your skin, your smile, your eyes. And it's more beautiful than you think. Because you're not losing beauty. You're becoming it. Part 1. Beauty doesn't fade, it transforms. There comes a moment in life, quiet, subtle, when you look in the mirror and realize you no longer look like the person you once were. The skin has softened, the hair turned silver, the eyes carry stories now, not just sparkle. And yet, there's a strange beauty in that. Society tells us to fear this transformation, to fight it, cover the wrinkles, dye the gray, stay young forever. But what if we saw aging not as a loss, but as a deepening? There's a Zen story about an elderly woman who once came to a wise master. She said, "Master, I no longer recognize myself in the mirror. My beauty has faded. My hair is silver. I feel invisible." The master took her into the garden. First, he pointed to a cherry blossom tree, blooming in full glory. "This," he said, "is beauty, isn't it?" She nodded. Then he walked her to an ancient pine, its bark rugged, its form twisted by storms, yet standing strong. "And this?" She hesitated, then softly said, "It's different, but dignified, powerful." The master smiled. "A child sees beauty only in the cherry blossom, but wisdom sees the beauty in the pine. As we age, our beauty doesn't vanish, it transforms. Think about the elders you admire. Are they beautiful because they look young, or because they radiate warmth, patience, and presence? Their hands may tremble, but they offer the gentlest comfort. Their eyes may be tired, but they shine with understanding. That is true beauty." So, the next time you catch your reflection and feel tempted to mourn what's gone, pause. Look again. See not what's missing, but what's growing. Your gray hair, it's a crown of experience. Your wrinkles, they are the signature lines of a life deeply lived. Aging isn't something to hide, it's something to wear with pride. Because beauty doesn't fade, it evolves with wisdom, with depth, and with grace. Part 2. You will witness more loss, but love never dies. As the years pass, we inevitably begin to say goodbye to friends, to parents, even sometimes to children. And no matter how wise we become, Nothing fully prepares the heart for loss. The ache of grief is real, but Buddhism teaches us something profound. Love doesn't die. There's a powerful Buddhist parable about a woman named Kissa Gotami. After losing her only child, she wandered from house to house, begging for medicine to bring him back to life. Eventually, she found herself before the Buddha. Gently, he told her, "Bring me a mustard seed from a household that has never known death." With new hope, she began her search, knocking on every door. But in every home, someone had been lost, a parent, a sibling, a friend, and in that search, she discovered the truth. Grief is not something we escape. It is something we all share. When we lose someone we love, they don't vanish entirely. They live on in the way we speak, in the values they left us, in the kindness we continue to spread. Perhaps it's your father's laugh that still echoes in your mind, or your best friend's advice that still guides your choices, or your mother's love, shaping the way you now love others. They are gone, but not absent. One of the biggest misconceptions about grief is that we must move on. But the truth is, we don't move on. We move forward. We carry them with us, in every kind act, in every memory we pass on, in every time we whisper their name into the silence. Love doesn't end when life does. It flows through us, unseen, but deeply felt. So yes, aging means witnessing more goodbyes. But it also means having had the privilege to love deeply. And that is a gift. Because when we continue to love, those we've lost are never truly gone. Part 3. Aging is not a curse. It's a gift in disguise. We live in a world obsessed with youth. Stay young forever, they say. We inject, we conceal, we chase time like it's an enemy. But what if the real enemy isn't aging? What if the real enemy is our resistance to it? Buddhist wisdom teaches us that suffering doesn't come from change. It comes from clinging to what can't stay the same. Aging isn't what hurts us. Fighting it does. You see, every wrinkle we carry is a story of laughter, of sorrow, of survival. Every silver hair is a thread in the fabric of our growth. These are not signs of loss. They are symbols of a life fully lived. But most of us spend so much energy fearing the next chapter that we forget to live this one. The truth is, aging is not the end of your story. It's a new beginning. A quieter one perhaps, but also wiser, deeper, more meaningful. Imagine this. A candle burns brightest just before it goes out. Not because it's fading, but because it's full of warmth, full of light, full of everything it's gathered over time. That's what old age is. It's your light, distilled. You now have the chance to slow down and notice the small, sacred things. The sound of birds in the morning, the kindness in a stranger's smile, the joy of simply being. Instead of asking, "How do I stay young forever?" ask this: "How can I honor where I am with grace? How can I be more present with what truly matters?" Let's stop seeing aging as something to battle. Let's welcome it as a sacred rite of passage, a gift that not everyone gets to receive. Because the truth is, growing old is not a punishment. It's a privilege, a gentle reminder that we're still here, still breathing, still learning. Part 4. Pain is the proof that you have loved deeply. One of the quiet truths about getting older is this: you begin to lose more than you gain. People you love fade. Places you once knew change. And the heart? It carries all of it. Every goodbye. Every memory. It's tempting to think we're supposed to get over grief. But in Buddhist thought, we don't overcome grief. We befriend it. Because grief is the shadow of love. The deeper you love, the deeper you grieve. And that pain? It's sacred. It tells you, you truly cared. It whispers, this person mattered. When someone we love dies, they don't disappear. They return, in a scent that drifts through the air, in a favorite song on the radio, in a phrase we still catch ourselves saying. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly felt them near? Or found yourself laughing just the way they used to? That's not your imagination. That's love. Still living, still echoing through time. As the years pass, we lose more, but we also love more. And in that love, we find purpose again. Yes, pain will visit, but don't run from it. Sit with it, learn from it. Let it remind you that you once had something, someone, so precious, it left a mark on your soul. Gratitude is grief transformed. When we can say, "Thank you for having been in my life," instead of just, "Why did you have to go?" we begin to heal. So if your heart aches, it means it once bloomed. If your tears fall, it means you once belonged. Let your grief be gentle. Let your memories stay warm. And above all, let love remain the thread that ties you to everything that matters. Part 5. Aging is a beginning, not an end. We've been taught to see aging as the slow decline, the final chapter, the unraveling of everything we used to be. But what if that story is all wrong? In Buddhist wisdom, aging is not the end of the road. It's the beginning of a more meaningful one. It's not a punishment. It's a privilege. Each wrinkle is a poem written in time. Each gray hair is a strand of accumulated truth. Every birthday you celebrate isn't a countdown. It's a confirmation. You made it this far. You're still here, still growing. The suffering, says the Buddha, doesn't come from aging itself. It comes from resisting change, from clinging to a version of ourselves that no longer exists. What if, instead of mourning who we were, we honored who we've become, let go of what was, breathe into what is? And you'll find peace not in perfection, but in presence. Old age is not a chapter of decline. It's a chapter of depth, of clarity, of compassion, the kind you can only cultivate through time, experience, and loss. You begin to see the world not through urgency, but through understanding. You don't rush to speak. You listen. You don't need to be everything. You simply be. And there's a beauty in that. One that no mirror can reflect, but everyone around you can feel. So ask yourself, will I keep fighting against time? Or will I walk with it, like a wise friend leading me deeper into myself? Because in the end, aging is not the slow fading of light. It is the dawn of a different radiance, quiet, steady, and deeply alive. Awaken with gratitude, live with presence. So here we are, standing at the edge of everything we've learned. And maybe, just maybe, the biggest revelation is this: accepting old age isn't giving up. It's waking up to what matters, to what lasts, to what you've carried through it all: love, wisdom, and presence. What if aging is the moment you stop racing and start remembering? Now is the time to tell your story, to laugh without holding back, to love with fewer conditions, to forgive not because it's easy, but because there's no more time to waste. You see, life was never about how long we stay young, but about how deeply we live as we grow old. So don't close the book just yet. You're not at the end. You're at a brand new page, and it's yours to write, with kindness, with courage, and with clarity. Before you leave, I want to ask you, what has aging taught you? What part of yourself are you learning to love more today? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if this message spoke to your heart, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep walking this journey together, with mindfulness, grace, and compassion. Because getting older might just be the most spiritual thing you'll ever do.